When the Tar Heels are victorious in football, the chimes send the sound of Hark the Sound echoing throughout this campus. Today, all Carolina fans are hopeful that they'll have the opportunity to sing the alma mater in victory as North Carolina takes on Clemson in one of the most important Atlantic Coast Conference games ever played. And the Clemson Tigers in their white and orange are poised to come out, and here they come. And look what they've done this year. Ranked second in the AP poll, third in the UPI poll, one of four major college teams with a perfect record. And last week, 82 points, the highest point total this year in college football against Wake Forest. And their fans are here screaming today. And even a larger crowd rooting for the light blue and white of North Carolina, ranked 8th in the Associated Press, 9th in the UPI. And coming off a big win last week over Maryland, 17-10, and the light blue balloons go up all over the state of Carolina. Look at it. It's a perfect day for football. Blue skies, light blue, I might imagine. There are no clouds. It's about 60 degrees. Wind coming in from the north. I can't imagine a more perfect setting for this homecoming game, the final home game of the season for the University of North Carolina. I'm Bill Fleming, along with Coach Ara Parsekian. I call him Coach because for 25 years he patrolled those sidelines, and I'm wondering, Ara, in those 25 years, what your experience was against Atlantic Coast Conference teams.
Well, back in those days, Bill, the Atlantic Coast Conference was better known as a basketball conference. But today, they don't need to take a back seat to any conference in the country. Listen to these credentials of both Clemson and North Carolina. North Carolina in the last 2 years has defeated the likes of Texas in a bowl game, Michigan in a bowl game, and of course, in 1979, inflicted the only loss on Pittsburgh. Clemson, believe it or not, has knocked off Ohio State, Notre Dame, my own school back in South Bend, and beat Georgia, the only loss that they have had in about 20 games, last year's national champion. So it tells you a little bit about the quality of play in this conference.
You know, we were impressed, too, when you look at the national statistics, how high both these teams are in the stats in offense and defense. You might want to comment on that.
Well, they're really outstanding ball clubs. They're evenly matched without any question, fundamentally sound. Both teams are highly ranked, both offensively and defensively, nationally, as you have mentioned. And I went to both coaches and asked them if there was one single thing that they thought that was important that would make the difference in this football game. And Dick Crum, coach of North Carolina, said, we must control and contain Homer Jordan, the great quarterback of Clemson. Danny Ford, the coach of Clemson, said, we must avoid the big play, and that's what North Carolina has had over the years, or during the course of this season, big plays. They both have great kicking games, and they both agreed, Bill, that the kicking game, providing there are not unusual turnovers in this game, would be the difference in the contest.
Well, we couldn't have a more perfect setting for this big one. Keep in mind that North Carolina won last year with a great goal line stand, and Clemson is coming into this one fighting mad. Clemson has won the toss and will receive the football to begin this all-important game, and that brings a big roar from the Tiger fans as North Carolina now will deploy the defense. What a setting for this one. All orange on the far side of the field, a whole section over there from the Clemson Tigers side. And on this side of the field, nothing but light blue. So it'll be a very vocal crowd here this afternoon. A highly emotional game for both teams. As I mentioned, in case you joined us a little bit late, North Carolina, 7-1, comes into this game ranked 8th in one poll, 9th in another. And Clemson comes in ranked 2nd in one, 3rd in another. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the highest-ranked Clemson team in the history of their football, which dates way back, of course, to the 1890s, even during the great reign of Frank Howard. The Tigers only were able to get as high as 5th during the middle of one season, so this indeed is a very lofty position. The series record has an edge to Clemson, but last year, you'll remember, North Carolina won by a great goal line stand. However, interestingly enough, North Carolina has not won this game here in Chapel Hill in 10 years. Clemson has had a bit of a jinx on them, and we're ready to go as Jeff Hayes, number 7, will do the booting. Kevin Mack and Perry Tuttle back. Referee Robert Wood waiting now, and Jeff Hayes is patiently waiting for the signal to get this one underway. North Carolina will have a pretty strong wind to its back. The cold front went through last night and brought with it a north wind which is rather unusual, but it's really an ideal, stimulating day for football. 60 degrees, and here goes the roar, and here goes the kick. Sails out of the end zone. No return possible. So that will set up the Clemson offense. Homer Jordan, the man who makes everything click, at quarterback. Jeff McCall, tough fullback, gets the big yards. Cliff Austin, who leads the team in rushing. And Jerry Gilliard, the wide receiver. Barry Tuttle, leading receiver with 31 catches. Clemson white, trimmed in orange. Carolina in blue with the white numerals. And this is the first play from scrimmage. That's Tuttle in motion. Jordan. Too much pressure. He stumbles and falls a yard short of the line of scrimmage. Here's the offensive line. Brad Fisher. Jim Farr. Tony Berryhill, the center. Boy, watch him today. Brian Clark. As you can see, this is a big line. 250, 260. And it's mobile. Second down. Jeff McCall, the fullback, is stacked up in there by the middle of the line. Lee Sheffer, the linebacker, number 49, making the initial hit along with Joe Conwell, number 92. Conwell, Forston, and Fuller, along with Wilcher, Shaffer, Nicholson, and Daniels. The deep man, Poole, watch him today, Lucas Harris, and Walt Black. So, two plays have netted only 3 yards for Clemson, as Carolina playing tough here early. There as Cliff Austin is forced to go outside. He's out of bounds at the 28-yard line, and the roar comes up for the Carolina defense. Fourth and 3. Dale Hatcher averaging 44.8 yards, punting for Clemson, and Greg Poole, a single safety back. Averages about 12 yards on the return. A low snap. Not a good kick. High floater. Wynn catches it. Keeps it on the Clemson side of the 50. And Carolina will take over the football at the 46-yard line. Scott Stankiewicz going at quarterback. His second straight start. Carried him to victory last week. Alan Burris, a dependable fullback. Ethan Horton, just a freshman, and he's 6 feet 4 inches tall at the tailback spot. Mark Smith, the flanker. And John Richardson, the leading receiver, has the split end. And up they come. 1st and 10 on the 46. Stankiewicz on the first play. Gets some heat, goes down at the 46-yard line. Nice play by Dan Finish, number 71, coming through from his defensive left tackle spot. Offensively, Brian Blados checked in at 311. He's down now to 290. David Drexler, watch him on the pull plays, very fast, their best offensive lineman. Brian Johnston filling in now, his first start, because of an injured player ahead of him. Ron Spruill, another fine pulling guard. Mike Marr at right tackle. And the tight end, Shelton Robinson, caught 6 in the game last week. Almost bobbled. Stankiewicz came down with the ball. You saw it fly in the air there. He couldn't do much with it other than just try to grab it and hang on before Danny Triplett, number 82, buttoned him down at the 49-yard line. So neither team era has been able to do very much in terms of offense. They look just a shade tight.
Well, the one thing that I would be concerned about right at this stage if I was North Carolina is that with Brian Johnston, a center that hasn't worked too much with Stankiewicz, there was an exchange problem there, and that could be a problem as the game goes on.
3rd down and 5 on the 49, and again, Stankiewicz falls down. So, with Steve McGrew out of there because of injury and Brian Johnston filling in as the starting center, there has been a little bit of a problem. And now here goes Carolina. They're going to they're going to catch Clemson, certainly, with too many men on the field because they went without a huddle. Jeff Hayes spirals it down to the 7-yard line. Billy Davis makes the fair catch. But what a nice bit of strategy there.
It is excellent strategy. He sends in 3 men in there with the jerseys right now, puts pressure on the opposition. But the thing about it, Bill, in this particular case, it will not give them a first down. And I'm sure that they will give the ball to Clemson at the 8-yard line rather than take the 5-yard penalty.
The situation was a 4th and 15. And because of the depth of the penetration of that punt and no return, I'm sure you are absolutely right.
Wind will be a big factor in this game, Bill. It's coming out of that north, as you mentioned earlier, at about 20 miles an hour. And the quarters, depending on who has that wind, will be important.
You saw number 53. That's Jimbo Harrell, who was talking with the officials. And so the penalty is declined. The play goes as scheduled, and we'll be back in just a moment. Fumble the ball on the exchange a total of 9 times. So it's really kind of an unfortunate thing because without that, you're totally helpless. There's McCall grinding it up for a first down. Alvin Daniels, number 93, making the stop. Jeff McCall, Jr. from Fayetteville. Dick Crum on the sidelines on the near side. And what a fine record he's had overall as a head coach. And you've known him well, of course, since Miami of Ohio days.
He did a great job at Miami of Ohio, and certainly he's done a great job here at North Carolina.
That's a good close-up of Homer Jordan, the quarterback of Clemson. 1st and 10 on the 20. First man through gets the ball, and it's Jeff McCall. Gain of about 2 on the play. Each team has had an opportunity on offense just once, and nobody's been able to do much of anything.
Well, that one first down that McCall got for him from the 7-yard line out to working territory was a very important one.
Both Gilliard and Magwood are in now as flankers, and the tight end, Bubba Diggs, is out. Deep pitch goes to Austin, tries to swing wide. They close in on him. Beautiful hit by Aaron Jackson, number 81, on the pursuit, along with Mike Wilcher, number 84.
Beautiful piece of defensive work on the part of Carolina. They were deployed in absolutely a perfect alignment. And, of course, they had no chance on that play. Clemson, I'm talking about, as far as that sweep is concerned.
Carried down. The ball is just short of the 25. There is no score. And there you can see, statistically, how things stack up in the nation. And in the ACC, of course. 3rd down and 5. Jordan on a little stutter, pitches deep. Austin's hit, drives forward, doesn't make the first down. He's short, up to about the 29-yard line. Tried to throw a shoulder to carry him forward, but right there was Mike Wilcher, number 84.
Well, they ran the option play to the short side of the field, didn't have a whole lot of room, and looks like they're going to be forced to punt into that wind again.
Coming off the field now is number 32 of the Clemson defense, Greg Poole, probably their best defensive back.
And punt return man.
Yeah, right. High sailing kick, and it comes down, and it's caught by Walt Black, number 11. He made a very good catch of a difficult-to-handle football. So Carolina will take it over at their own 38. We'll be back. Almost had that block there, huh?
You see how quickly he got the ball up in the air. If he had kicked it on a line straight forward, that ball would have been blocked. Darn good work by Hatcher under extreme pressure.
And we'll give you a report now on Poole when we get it from the sidelines. No score. Carolina has the ball. A little bit of a trap. Alan Burris spins his way for a first down at the 49-yard line, 11 yards, and there's the Ram mascot looking, or rather disinterestedly on. Oh, he's sleepy.
Is he awake? Yeah, I was going to say.
I say it's a first down. Now when they say with these knee touch, it may be close enough to measure.
Bill Burris has been a real steady guy for the Tar Heels this year. I didn't realize he was as big. I talked to Dick Crum, and he looks like he's about 185, 190, but he's 210.
First down. First down for Carolina. We have 9 9 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. An absolutely sparkling blue day here in Chapel Hill between these two old rivals that began playing football back in 1897. They've been at it ever since with some fierce games. Stan Cabbage has a bobble in the backfield. It's barely recovered by Mark Smith on the flanker around. In fact, I'm wondering if he did get it. He did not get it. Clemson recovers the football. I thought it might have squirted out of his arms as he was on the ground, and Rod McSwain, or Anthony Rose it was, number 21, who got it.
Yeah, I think the ball squirted out. Looked like he got it back. But, you know, this is one of the things, Bill, when you get a strange quarterback in center, not strange, I should say, inexperienced, ball handling can be a problem, and we've seen it in the first two series by North Carolina.
So the Tigers get a great break here. They have the ball on the 47-yard line in North Carolina territory. First down. They spread out. Got two men deep in the eye. Homer Jordan takes, shovels across, pitches deep, and that's McSwain. He's the man who shares the time at tailback with Cliff Austin. And McSwain clicks off 5 or 6 very quick yards.
I'll tell you, Kevin Mack, the fullback, set a nice block to make that play go. Ran the option play, and you got to have blocking. No runner can go without it. Kevin Mack, their fullback, number 27, did a nice job.
Aaron Jackson will go into the lineup now, and limping off to this side of the field is Lee Schaffer, number 49, as Danny Ford looks on the opposite side. Here comes Schaffer, and he is the right linebacker, a senior experienced veteran from Durham.
And Bill, he's number 1. He's their number 1 tackler. That's a big loss if he's hurt.
Well, it would mean 2 very devastating losses because Poole went out holding his arm. Greg Poole, the left cornerback. So Schaffer is on the bench also. Here come the Tigers with a 2nd and 3. You're looking at the nation's number 2 ranked team in the AP, number 3 in the UPI. Their highest ranking ever. And they run right at Carolina, and down goes McSwain. William Fuller, number 95. Here's how Schaffer got hurt.
Take a look and see. He was limping. It must have been an ankle. He's going on that option play. Oh, he really gets blocked.
Right in the scissors.
Ooh, number 2, Magwood, the split receiver, really came in and did a job on the scissor block.
3rd and a healthy yard. Ball is on the 38-yard line of North Carolina. The Clemson Tigers have it. There is no score. 3rd and 1. First down. The ball's fumbled. It's loose. And it's covered at the 32-yard line. It looked like the Clemson player dove on it. Who was it? Perry Tuttle, number 22. Just made a fly at it.
What a job of recovering a fumble. You see here, Kevin Mack comes through for the first down. The ball comes flying out, and the wide receiver right there, number 22, Tuttle, their leading receiver. Look him going. This is a beautiful job of recovering a fumble. Perfect.
First down for Clemson at the 32-yard line of North Carolina. Jordan takes the pass, gets heat, can't do anything with it. Number 81, Aaron Jackson, was all over him.
Well, this is the thing that North Carolina has done. They've put 3 ends in to get more quickness. Jackson and Daniels and Wilcher. And you can see the quickness paid off right there.
A little ankle wrapping now for Lee Schaffer. Trying to get him back in his lane. Tuttle out wide to the left. It's a 2nd and 10 situation as Homer Jordan is finding that the Carolina defense has indeed been a swarming one. Takes the draw, gets more heat, throws. It's complete, but it's going to be short yardage to Jerry Gilliard, the flanker. Caught it out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
That was good coverage on the part of the Carolina team. Jordan could not find an open receiver with any depth to it. Watch Jordan right here. He's got a quick arm. Watching him in film, he just got a very quick arm. He can scramble out. Didn't really need to run out of the pocket that time, but he did avoid the rush. Got it to the receiver, number 41, Gilliard, but not for much yardage.
Last week in the game against Wake Forest, Clemson converted on all 12 third down situations. They have now 3rd and 9. Once again, Jordan loses his footing, loses the football. Covered by Clemson. Chuck McSwain grabbed the football, but it's now 4th down And it's placed down on the 33-yard line. Listen to these Carolina fans.
Boy, there's a lot of noise here, a lot of interest. Jordan slipped momentarily, but the pressure. He also dropped the ball there. Fortunately, Clemson recovered it. I think they're too far out for a field goal. This is going to be a tough one into the wind, Bill, almost 50 yards.
Here is Donald Ingewike from Nigeria, who will do the kicking. His long is 52. This one is 49. It's against the wind. It is not good. It's off to the left. So the Carolina defense gets a rousing welcome. Bill Fleming, Ara Parsegian back at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And Rod Elkins has gone in at quarterback number 10. Rod Elkins, who was injured against South Carolina, has taken over the quarterback chores for Carolina at the 33. First and 10. The handoff goes to Ethan Horton, the young freshman. And he grinds it up over about the 36-yard line. Tough defensive play by Jeff Davis, number 45. There are the statistics on Elkins. You can see how impressive they are. He's had a little calcium deposit on that ankle that was sprained, but it's been coming along well, and Coach Dick Crum felt that he was ready.
I'm wondering whether or not he can really sprint out to the corner, his strong suit. He might be able to drop to the pocket. Let's take a look and see.
Second down and 8. No score. Carolina in possession of the ball against the tough Clemson defense, just off the fingertips of Larry Griffin, the flanker. Hollis Hall, number 29, covering for the Tigers.
I think there was a noticeable limp as he came out here trying to challenge the corner, trying to hit Larry Griffin on a quick out pattern, and I don't think that is not at full speed. I think if he gets fat back there, they're going to have negative yardage.
Here's something to watch on this play. Tyrone Anthony has gone in the lineup for Ethan Horton. Tyrone Anthony, sophomore tailback, who was Calvin Bryant's number 1 replacement. They usually put him in for the key play, the big play, and this is a 3rd and 8. Throws it to Tyrone Anthony. Had the ball and couldn't hold it. Tiptoeing up behind him there was Danny Triplett, number 82.
Well, you called it, Bill, exactly right. Anthony came out of the backfield. Elkins dropped the ball off to him. I think he tried to run with it before he had full possession of it. Those things happen. You have an injury down there.
I see that.
That's Andy Heaton. Heaton is a good football player. He's their swing guy that can both rush and also drop off. He's a good one, 6'5", about 230.
Coming up next, a game that you certainly will not want to miss, and that, of course, is the Florida-Georgia game, 3:45 Eastern Time. How well we remember the dramatic moments of that game a year ago. Probably the most exciting play of all the 1980 season that Georgia pulled off to win. What a kick by Jeff Hayes. Spirals down, drives Billy Davis deep. Davis tries to get back, comes to the 20, down the sidelines. He's got a cordon of blockers, makes the cut, and goes over the midfield stripe at the 46-yard line. They had him pinned in, and he broke loose. Billy Davis on a brilliant run.
What a run back that was. It was a great kick and a great run back.
52-yard kick, 42-yard return.
From up here, it looked like he was pinned in, broke to the outside, got a couple of good blocks, took the right sideline, and I mean, this is a great return because field position is so important. They have gone into Carolina territory.
And this is one dandy football game as Clemson takes over on the 46 of Carolina. First and 10. Handoff goes to Kevin Mack, number 27, gets 5, 6, nearly 7 yards before number 81. Aaron Jackson drives him out, along with number 6, Sammy Johnson. Incidentally, Lee Schaffer, after having his ankle taped, is back in there, number 49, the right linebacker for Carolina. However, Greg Poole, the left cornerback, and perhaps their most valuable man on defense because he also is back for punt receptions, is still out. Second down. A short 2. Nice gain of 8 by Mack on that first sequence. He gets the call again, gets the first down at the 30-yard line. He's snagged there by Darrell Nicholson, number 29.
You can see the importance of that punt return in field position. With 1 first down, now they're in field goal territory.
That's the 3rd first down for the Clemson Tigers, ranked number 2 in the nation.
Accomplishing this into the wind.
First first down just outside the 30. Jordan giving it to the deep man. Chuck McSwain is slammed down to the ground. The middle of that line is tough. Wiltshire, Conwell, Fortune, Fuller, and Daniels. That was Calvin Daniels, number 93.
He closed very fast from the end position. Shut that play down.
Gain 1.
Those guys are big, 6'3", 237 for Calvin Daniels.
What a setting for this clash. Absolutely perfect weather for football, and these two teams are just absolutely hammering it out against each other with no score in this first quarter. 3:45 to go in the quarter, second down and 8. Whistle may have been too much time as the umpire comes in and taking a signal from the judge and the linesman. They chalk it off against Clemson. Incidentally, our officials today, Robert Wood there in the white hat is the referee, signaling that it was delay of the game. Rosario Amato, Tom Harris, James Knight, William Hooper, and Douglas Rhodes. Second down, and it puts the ball back on the 34-yard line.
Willie Harris, a strong safety of North Carolina, kept challenging like he was going to Red Dog. And the audible was, there he is again. Looks like he's going to come again. Number 30 there, you see.
Oh, what a play! What a play by number 95, William Fuller. Did he mess things up? Oh, he was there before the ball could even be handed off.
He's really a tough one. Dick Crum said yesterday he'll play hurt. Let's take a look at him right here. Nobody blocks him. He comes right through because, as you saw, Willie Harris was picked up, and of course Fuller came clean on it, and there's negative yardage.
William Fuller, 6'3", 245, a sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia. It makes a third and long. 21 yards to go. So Jordan shuttles across, has a blocker, cuts and slips at the 37. He saw Darrell Nicholson and Lee Schaffer right ahead of him, so he had to make the cut, and that brings up a fourth down situation. You talk about tough defense.
Well,
I'm going to tell you, we've had it.
Both of these teams are outstanding defensive teams. As I mentioned earlier, they're nationally ranked, and this looks like a defensive struggle. Although I must say this, Clemson has moved the ball quite effectively, and they have not had to win, so the second quarter could be very important.
Dale Hatcher back, but more significantly, Greg Poole has gone back in the lineup for Carolina, and they fake it. And it does not pay off. Cliff Austin was down on the 31-yard line, and Carolina will take over the football. But I still love to see a gamble.
Well, they had to pick up a lot of yardage, didn't have a lot to lose because the ball was at the 37-yard line. They snapped the ball to their short man. There's a big hole that opens, but it closes very quickly with Harris, number 30, coming in to help on the tackle.
So here we go. Carolina up on the 31-yard line, first and 10. Rod Elkins on the exchange has the ball fumbled, and it is covered there. Ooh, a very dangerous play. Ethan Horton just barely got back to that ball.
Bill, I think the injuries that the North Carolina Tar Heels have suffered at the quarterback spot, the running back spot, and the center, those are all the key people that handle the ball, and it's not totally unexpected.
Larry Griffin is reported into the lineup for Mark Smith as the flanker. He goes out wide to the left. We have a second and 10, and Elkins is back to pass. Fires to the sidelines. He's got John Richardson out of bounds, but the pass is complete at the 43-yard line.
Absolutely beautiful timing on the play. Richardson drove up the field, and then they came back. Here it is, as you will watch. He starts like he's going to run clear up the right sideline. The timing is right. He comes running back, comes back to get the ball, and it's thrown beautifully by Elkins.
Oh, you've got to love the color blue in order to live in this state, don't you? Calvin Bryant has gone in the lineup. Number 44, Calvin Bryant, for the first time since he was injured in the Georgia Tech game. And time is called by Rod Elkins.
It's an interesting story about the knee injury that Calvin had. And this week, for the first time, they brought him right into the stadium on Wednesday, Bill. You recall we were told, and they scrimmaged him for about 8 plays, so he has had some contact. It's always tough to come off of an injury, a surgery like he had, and let's see how he can run. I saw him earlier in the year.
In his first 3 games, this young man scored 15 touchdowns.
And I saw him right here against Boston College, and I'm telling you, I can compare him to a guy like Gale Sayers. He is really tough to bring down when he gets into the secondary. He's got a lot of moves.
You know, the new modern-day surgery that they do for cartilage, I think deserves a mention simply because of the astounding strides the medical profession has made. It's called arthroscopy. It consists of making a couple of little tiny holes, removing the damaged cartilage, making the repair. What, 4 weeks? He's back on the playing field. What would that have been during your playing days?
Oh, at least 2 months. And some of the youngsters that have had the same surgery have been back in even less time than that. It's incredible.
1st and 10 with Calvin Bryant and Rod Elkins back in the lineup. There is no score. We have 1:32 to go in the first quarter between Carolina and Clemson. Elkins throws down the sidelines. Oh, just off the fingertips of John Richardson. Oh, he has some zip on that ball as Terry Kennard was covering.
The ball was just slightly overthrown. They were in an unbalanced line to give him full protection. He rolled out to the left. You can see he has excellent protection. Bryant throws a block there. The ball is just a little bit overthrown, just a tad, and he also gets a real shot in the process.
Yes, and he's down because of it. Terry Kennard nailed him just as he went up. The thing was impressive to me, Era, about that particular throw was the fact that Elkins was running to his left and still was able to put a lot of velocity on the football throwing left.
You know, he's running better than I thought. When we talked yesterday, and of course the workout, I really thought that ankle was going to bother him, but he is moving much better than I think anyone anticipated.
While they're taking a look now at John Richardson, let's check in with our studios in New York on an update of what's going on elsewhere.
Play again in New York with another Nebraska touchdown from Stillwater, Oklahoma. This one still in the first quarter. The end of an 11-play, 85-yard drive. Turner Gill going in from 9 yards out. The Cornhuskers now lead it 14-0. Now let's go back to Bill Fleming in Chapel Hill.
All right, thank you, Jim Lampley. And, of course, as we look at the Jim Lampley Memorial Bell Tower here on the campus, we think of you on this beautiful Carolina day.
He spent a few days and hours down here.
John Richardson is okay. He comes off the field. He's replaced by Victor Harrison. And it's a 2nd down on the 44-yard line. Flopping over is Shelton Robinson, tight end to the far side. Elkins on the handoff to Calvin Bryant. Grinds it up short of midfield. First carry since he was injured.
I'll tell you, Bill, he's an exciting runner. I was so impressed with him about 5 weeks ago. Here he is in the I-back position, just taking a... I was so impressed with him about 5 weeks ago. Here he is in the I-back position, just taking a straight handoff, tailback off tackle. Picks up some yardage before finish. Number 71 of Clemson brings him down.
3rd down and 5 at the 49-yard line. We have no score. We have 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. Elkins throws. Did he get it? Yes. Yes, Calvin Bryant makes the reception at the 43-yard line and just did have a foot in.
Doesn't look like he had possession. Let's take a look here. He just slides from the wingback spot.
Marker.
Breaks very quickly to the outside. And you see here that he did catch it, right, but unfortunately...
There's a penalty marker down.
Yep.
That's the reason. I couldn't understand why Danny Ford was clapping.
Yeah,
that was why he was clapping.
Right.
He saw it before we did.
He saw the flag.
Calvin Bryant comes out. He's all right, though. He's not limping. Holding penalty against Carolina. Moves the ball back to the 41-yard line. Danny Ford looking on, a former pupil of Bear Bryant, a player at Alabama. You know, the last 3 coaches, as a matter of fact, at Clemson have been Alabama graduates.
Oh, that's right. Danny's a good one.
Elkins throws, got his man. Mark Smith. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line, and again, a terrific shot.
He really was through with authority. I didn't expect this at all, that he would be able to play. Elkins fakes to the inside, drops back. He gets pressure right here. He delivers the ball, and it's right on the numbers there to Mark Smith, number 45.
First down for Carolina at the 42.5-yard line with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Kelvin Bryant has gone back in the lineup. He'll take over the deep spot as Shelton Robinson swings across to the tight end on the right side. Deep pitch to Bryant. This is what he likes to do best. He's got a blocker. He's snagged from behind. Great defensive play by Terry Kennard, who came up from his free safety spot to click Kelvin Bryant's heels together.
Kennard is the number 2 tackler on the ball club, and an outstanding. This is the pitch sweep that Kevin has made so popular here. He dips outside, gets good blocking. Drexler, the left guard, comes around, gets a block right there, and he's just tripped up by Kennard right there. Otherwise, that would have been a much longer gainer.
2nd and 5. The ball in the 37. Tyrone Anthony now is taking over the tailback spot. And Elkins with a lot of protection. Zings it to Richardson, but he can't hang on to it. Number 45 covering on the play is Jeff Davis.
There he is. He must have had the wind knocked out of him on the far sideline. Again, watch him. People that want to know what receivers do well, watch him come back for the football. He doesn't allow the ball to be picked off because he comes all the way back for it. Ball is thrown slightly inside, and again, it looks like we have a flag on the play.
So that's the end of the quarter. And an exciting quarter it was, too. No score in this one. But don't go away in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Third down and 5, and Carolina has the ball in Tiger territory at the 37. Tyrone Anthony is the tailback. One of 3 who have played so far. Elkins throws. Got his man at the 7-yard line. Larry Griffin, the flanker, gives Carolina 1st and goal to go. And I want to point out something on that play. If we look at it again, watch the block that Brian Blados puts on, if we can see it.
Here we see Elkins rolling out. Doesn't appear to be bothered by that ankle that we talked about that we missed the game last week. Great throw right there to Larry Griffin. We did not see Blados on the replay, but there is a great throw and catch. And Carolina has gone to the air and really putting pressure on the Clemson defense.
Calvin Bryant is in. Larry Griffin goes out wide to the right. Fake handoff. Elkins looks to the end zone. Can't find anybody. He's beleaguered. He's down at the 14-yard line. Great defense by Andy Heaton, number 12. William Devane, number 94. And Benish and Bryant.
He actually had his receiver open. He faked the ball to the right, but he waited a little bit late. From up here, you could see him open. He did not see him, saw him too late. And, of course, as a result, Clemson finally closed on him. A negative yardage. Andy Heaton, number 12, 71 finish, who's having quite an afternoon.
That Tiger defense is tough when their goal line is threatened, and it certainly is threatened. On the delay, handoff goes to Bryant. Bryant gets it to the 10, and that's all. And again, number 71 finishes right there. A 250-pound junior from Hubbard, Ohio.
Hey, that's not far from my old hometown, Hubbard, Ohio. Youngstown, Akron. Akron was my hometown. It's in between in there.
Sure has produced some doggone good football players up there, I'll tell you that.
Sure has.
Third down. The ball is on the 11. Carolina has it. Goal to go. Tyrone Anthony is in for Kelvin Bryant at tailback. So setting the backfield. It's Rod Elkins at quarterback. Larry Griffin. No, now it's going out wide to the right is Richardson. Burris and Anthony are deep. Here's Elkins. Throws. He's got number 8, Tyrone Anthony at the 5. Now the question is, with a 4th and goal at the 5-yard line.
Take the 3, Bill. Got to take the 3.
Would you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's too far to go there for the first down, the touchdown. My golly, he's not. Yeah, he is. We're going to get the 3-point.
Stan Cabbage is in there, and Barwick, number 4. He has 3 out of 5 this year. He will be kicking the ball 22 yards. It is up, and it is perfect. Carolina has scored first against the second-ranked Tigers of Clemson. 12 minutes, 44 seconds. Barry Tuttle comes back and is hit hard at the 19-yard line. of Carolina is defensive specialist Danny Barlow on the specialist team. Rolled into the ground at the 19.
Oh, that was good coverage. Tuttle's dangerous with that football.
Now, Coach, what would you expect here? You're behind by 3, but you are a ball-control team. Nevertheless, you've got the wind to your back. You go to the air?
Yeah, well, George's going to have more working room now, Bill. I think we'll see him. I think he'll run the ball a play or two, and then I think you'll see him to the air if they make a first down.
He's got McCall and Austin in the backfield with him. The 2 backs lined up behind him. Deep pitch goes to Austin. Out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Not very much on that one. In fact, I don't know whether he really made it back to the line of scrimmage as Greg Poole, number 32, came up to shove him out of bounds. I often wonder on those so-called sweeps to the short side of the field, it really only gives you 18 yards to run. There's not much there.
That's right, Bill. About 17 1/3 yards, actually. And what they do is they audibilize based on the alignment. The Carolina Tar Heels were deployed to defend the wide side of the field, but they reacted very well to the short side on that sweep.
Watch Frank Magwood, who's gone in as the flanker for Gilliard, number 2. They like to throw to him. Jordan spirals it over, out of bounds on the far side. In fact, Gilliard...
I gave it to him, Bill.
Was he inbounds?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently he had possession before he went out.
Both Gilliard and Magwood were in, and the tight end was out on that play.
And it's the same play. They fake the ball to the right here. Beautiful tailback bootleg, and then he comes to the field. This play they have used all year, and quite successfully. Jordan, there he is, delivering the ball. See, he had his right foot in.
Couldn't have been better. 1st and 10 for Clemson. Trailing 3-0. The ball in the Clemson 32, second quarter. Kevin Mack. Oh, he's been impressive as a runner. Up to the 41-yard line. Ball was loose. However, they say no. There's a man down on the...
Looks like Austin. That's 7. There's the McCall running the ball with great effectiveness. He had a good hole at the line. We have man down out. It is Austin, Bill.
Right, it is Austin, and let me correct it. It was Jeff McCall, not Kevin Mack. They alternate at that fullback spot, as Austin and McSwain do.
Yeah, they play 2 tailbacks equally and 2 fullbacks equally.
Austin's all right. Just a little bit groggy on that play. Oh, it's been a tough, hard-hitting football game. Fortunately, the guys who've been hurt so far have all gone back in the lineup.
Well, and the surprise, of course, is the fact that Carolina has gotten back the services of both Bryant and Elkins. You can see, look at this possession time thus far. Clemson with 11 minutes almost, 8.5.
And yet, Clemson is trailing in the game by the score of 3-0. 12-10 to go in the first half. Clemson in possession with a second down and about 3 inches to go for a first down. Blasting through is Jeff McCall. He gets the 3 inches and then another 3 feet. Steve Fortson there is big number 96. Bill Fuller, 245, is in the tackle. Conwell at 252. It's a pretty beefy defense. First down, 46-yard line. Clemson trailing 3-0, second quarter. Jordan on a delay. Gives to McSwain. He doesn't get much. Galvin Daniels, number 93, in on the stop.
Let's take a look at Fuller, number 95. Runs around the block and comes back to the inside. The play was so slow developing, as you pointed out, Bill, that Fuller was allowed and able to run around the block to make the play.
Up and down an 8. The ball is on the 47-yard line. Handoff swings outside, and down goes McCall as Darrell Nicholson, number 29, buttons him down at midfield. Looks like he slipped a little bit on the turn.
Yeah, he did. Nicholson has got a lot of speed. He was hurt with an ankle injury last time we did Carolina, but he's got tremendous speed, like 4'6", 4'7", for a man at 6'2", 222. Look at him flow with the play. Comes right on down and closes it. Great play by Darrell Nicholson.
Third down and 8. Oh, what a shot the quarterback took as he delivered the ball to McSwain. McSwain gets outside and gets a first down at the 44-yard line. Darrell Lucas knocked him out of bounds, but the quarterback, Jordan, really took a hit.
He really did. Running that option down the line, becomes vulnerable. Here he is watching him go down the line on the speed option. Fullback lead. The fullback gets a great block. There's the hit right there. Wow. Of course, you see McSwain coming down the left side. He got a great block from his fullback, McCall. There he is out of bounds. Got the first down.
That was Calvin Daniels, by the way, who put the blitz on him there. First down at the 44-yard line. McSwain working for every inch.
It's interesting to see the strategy that's going on, Bill. Both teams are using 3 wideouts, trying to reduce the defense because the defenses are so good. They're stretching the perimeter of their defense as much as they can, trying to get seams and also open receivers.
Jack Perry, a 256-pound tackle, checks into the lineup defensively. He wears number 64 for Carolina. Second down and 8. The ball is on the 40-yard line. Clemson moving it. Swinging outside is McCall, but he doesn't get outside as Calvin Daniels makes great pursuit.
Oh, great job by Daniels. Defensive right end. Kept his outside arm free. Drove the block right on out. Made the tackle. Excellent piece of work by Daniels.
3rd and 5. The ball in the 39. Clemson trailing 3-0. We're in the second quarter. 9.5 minutes to go. Clock moving. This tremendous homecoming crowd here, well over 50,000, enjoying this one because it's predominantly a North Carolina crowd. But there is a huge contingent of orange on the far side, cheering on the Tigers with a big 3rd and 5. Gilliard in motion, and here goes Jordan. Rifles it across the middle. He caught the ball and held on to it. McCall coming out of the backfield. Check it, it's Barry Tuttle. I thought it was McCall 32. It was Tuttle 22.
I tell you, Jordan really ripped that ball in there, too. Watch here. He'll come sprinting to the right, and then he'll turn and throw back over the middle to Tuttle, breaking across the middle. Tuttle juggles the ball momentarily right there. You see there? And he got it back and had possession of the ball. A completion.
Limping out here now is Melvin Williams. Melvin Williams? Say Mike Wilcher. He's being helped off the field here on the Carolina side. Mike Wilcher, outside linebacker.
And the leading sacker on the team.
So Carolina now substitutes Butch Griffin, number 83, at that spot. Let's see if it'll be exploited. 1st and 10, the ball at the 24. Jordan Smart hands it off. Good opening as Cliff Austin bangs it down to about the 14-yard line. And Butch Griffin, the guy who just went in the ball game, number 83, for Mike Wilcher, made the stop.
Cliff Austin read that very well. It was designed as a off-tackle to the inside play. It was closed. He broke it to the outside, found the daylight, and that's what you call option running. Good job.
Second down, about a yard, just short of the 15-yard line. Broken play. Jordan is trapped at the 14 to the 13-yard line. I wonder if he converted it to a first down. If he did, it was a bit of individual brilliance. And getting up is Calvin Daniels.
It really was. It was a good job by. This is the thing Jordan can do, and the thing that Dick Crum, coach of Carolina, was concerned about. Broken play, still gets the first down. He wants to run the option down to the left side. He stops because it apparently is covered, shakes the tackler, and comes all the way to his right and gets the first down.
Danny Ford looking on anxiously now. He's got his team deeper than it's been all day in Carolina territory. Previously, they went to the 31. Clemson with a first down on the 14, trailing 3-0.
I tell you, Bill, there's great blocking on the right side of the Clemson line. Jeff Nanny, the All-American prospect at right tackle, number 77, really is moving people out of there.
McCall gets it to about the 7. It'll be second down, a short 5. Clemson has 100 yards rushing right now. North Carolina has 8, but North Carolina has 3 on the scoreboard. Second down, just under 5 to go. Ball on the 7. Here's McCall. He's
up, and of course he takes it into the end zone for the first touchdown of the day.
6-3 Clemson, and Bob Pauling, who's perfect this year, has 27 out of 27, bangs it up and through. 6 minutes, 54 seconds to go in the first half, and the Clemson Tigers have taken the lead by the score of 7-3. Back in a moment. 6 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first half. And incidentally, don't forget, following this game of the Prudential College scoreboard, which will bring you up to date on all the other games, you will be seeing another classic, Florida and Georgia. Never forget that game a year ago when Ballou passed to Lindsey Scott for 93 yards to carry Georgia to victory 26-21. The Gators have been hopping mad ever since to try to get revenge. You'll see it today here on ABC. What a hole opens up. Alan Burris got through quickly for 7 yards. Nebraska out in front of Oklahoma State in the second quarter.
Bill Elkins is hurt his ankle again. Look at that score.
Elkins now is limping noticeably. In fact, is going to have to be helped off the field. Doggone, that's a tough break.
It really is. He was hit just as he handed the ball off, and I think he got his ankle or leg caught and tripped up, and apparently he re-sprained it. That's a tough break for the Tar Heels because he was really throwing the ball well. Let's see if we can see it here. He slips the ball to Burris right there. Now right there, you see him go down right there. He tripped over, I think it was the center or someone coming from the backside. He caught his ankle and apparently has re-sprained it.
So Stan Cavage has gone in the lineup. Stan Cavage on a delay gives to Tyrone Anthony. He whips it up to the 37-yard line.
Great job of mixing up the plays. Clemson deployed, looking for a pass. Both occasions they've run the ball. Tar Heels ran the draw play that time. The one before, they slipped the ball to Burris.
First down on the 38-yard line. Carolina is trailing in this one by the score of 7-3. Two tight ends, Sickles and Robinson. Oh, not much there. Incidentally, this crowd today is the largest crowd ever at North Carolina. 53,611 people have really crammed themselves into this magnificent setting. And I say magnificent by simply stating I don't think there's a prettier place in America to play football than Kenan Stadium. Second down and 7. The ball in the 42. Carolina trailing by 4. Stan Cavage throws a high one, too high for Richardson. Well, this young sophomore has been pressed into duty once again. He had to start against Maryland last week and carried the Heels to a 17-10 victory. He started today, had some real problems early in the handoff in the exchange between himself and the center. Elkins came in, was able to carry the team down the field to get 3, but now he's out by injury. Stan Cavage is back with a 3rd and 7. Handoff to Anthony. He's got a blocker. Good defensive play. Danny Triplett just threw his body in front. And down goes the ball carrier at the 45. It is 4th down and 2. Jeff Hayes back to kick. Nice high floating spiral. And it hits, it's out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So the Clemson Tigers will go back on offense, and they lead in this one by a slim 4 points.
Successfully in previous games, he fakes the ball inside, the backside guard pulls, and he goes right up the field. He's open. Tuttle is wide open as he comes down the field. And the ball is just overthrown by Jordan. He is as open as he could be. Look where that ball is thrown. Tuttle has no chance.
Although it perhaps we haven't made enough of it, the wind is very strong behind Clemson right now. It's a good 20-25 mile an hour wind. So maybe that had to be calculated in that throw.
Yes, Bill.
Cross buck that much. Jeff McCall gets as much as he can get out of it up to the 31-yard line. Clemson would be very content now, and certainly could do it with 4:41 to go in the first half, to just simply eat up the clock until the first half is over. They're a ball control team. Their last drive consumed 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
I tell you, though, with that win, they'd like to take advantage of that win and at least get another 3 points on the board.
That's a good point. 3rd and 3, a long 3. Jordan on a deep pitch. It's McSwain, makes the cut and gets his nose on the 35-yard line. Is it enough? He has to go to the 36. I don't think it is.
I think it's just a tad short.
There is Elkins, and he is obviously in pain on the sideline. And that ankle is being wrapped in ice. And that's the same pesky one that he's had before. Good look at this brilliant quarterback of North Carolina. First down. Time here is called. Homer Jordan wants to talk to Danny Ford. So he chats with him on the sidelines, and the clock is stopped with exactly 4 minutes to go in the first half. It is really blowing hard from left to right, from north to south, and Clemson has the wind to their backs. 1st and 10 on the 36-yard line. Clemson out in front by the score of 7-3. Jordan gives it to the close man. That's Jeff McCall. That's about 1.5 yards, and Chris Ward, number 43, makes the stop on it. There you see the clock in the right-hand corner. That's how much time we've got to go in this first half. It's been a hard-fought first half, as we knew it would be between these ACC rivals, the only 2 teams who still have perfect records in the conference race.
This is gadget time, Bill. 2nd down, about 8 or 9.
Now, come on, what's a gadget?
Some kind of reverse, long pass, one-action pass. There's that bootleg again.
Oh, and what the pressure goes on as Fortson goes in on him. The nose guard, number 96, Steve Fortson, was right on Homer Jordan's back, and William Fuller was there to batten him down.
Well, down in distance, and he didn't buy the fake. He just went for the quarterback and did a great job, Fortson.
Brings up 3rd down. Walt Black checking in the lineup at free safety. Thinking, of course, that with that added speed in there, they can take an interior lineman out. Jack Perry, who's a big fella, 264. 3rd and 11, passing situation, and Jordan swings it to the sidelines. It is caught. Not good. He caught it out of bounds. Gilliard.
Good call by the official. The left leg, I think, was out of bounds as he caught the ball. We'll watch here and see the sprint out, which Jordan does so well. Here he'll deliver the ball, and you'll watch the left foot, I believe, as he catches the ball. You see it dragging underneath? He didn't have possession of the ball, I don't think, when he was on the sideline.
Dale Hatcher now to kick with the big wind to his back. Greg Poole is back as a single safety for North Carolina. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this first half. Clemson's out in front, 7-3. Wobbly kick off the side of his foot, but it spins across midfield and will swing over to the right side of the field, and with good coverage on it, there will be no chance for a return. So it'll be Carolina's ball on about the 18-yard line. 47-yard boot. Wasn't very pretty, but it seemed to get the job done.
Well, he had to hurry the punt because North Carolina tried to block the thing. He did get it away, got the favorable bounce, and ended up as a 47-yard punt, which is very good for Clemson.
Scott Stankiewicz is number 14, the sophomore quarterback. Boy, from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, another state that produces great high school football. Tyrone Anthony tries to swing outside. Oh, boy, I'm glad he went down when he did, because coming at him fast after Dan Benish had him down was looked like Jeff Davis.
Well, they really swarm, don't they, that Clemson defense? What are they, 3rd in the nation in yielding any kind of score, giving only 7.8, and I think there was 24 of it last week against Wake Forest.
Dick Crum, a very unemotional coach, and his team plays with poise and not a lot of frenzy. There's a marker that goes down, but the pass is deflected by Tyrone Anthony, but there was a marker down just as Stankiewicz let the ball go, and I'm sure you're going to see an offensive holding penalty here.
Either that or I wondered whether or not Stankovich's knee hit back there. Let's see what he calls. He is calling holding? Yeah. Yep.
Number 51, Brian Johnston, made a very emotional plea to the official, like, oh, no. So it looked perhaps like he was guilty.
And again, they had that problem, Stankovich trying to get away from center. Now it's a judgment of whether or not they want to take the down here, Bill, or the penalty. Let's see what they do.
Decline.
Take the down.
North Carolina State over Penn State. I'll tell you, that North Carolina State team is a tough one. And look at this. Illinois with the great passing of Tony Eason out in front of Michigan by 14, and Duke in another ACC game leading Wake Forest. I guess this is the first time that teams ranked in the top 10, 3 in the top 10, have played in the ACC this week, because Penn State, of course, is playing also in the state of North Carolina. Here's Stankovich with the 3rd down and 8. Swings upfield. My golly, he got pretty close to the first down. He's up to about the 28-yard line. Had to go to the 29. And Brian Johnston looks like he's going to be a little groggy getting up.
Oh, boy, that'll be the backup center. They have to move Drexler, the left guard, to center in the event Johnston can't play.
Clemson now is wise to this no-huddle situation on 4th down. They got caught earlier with too many men on the field. Here's a big kick by Hayes, and Billy Davis is back, makes the catch, and down he goes. Larry James from Middletown, Ohio, a young freshman wearing number 1, saw no fair catch sign, so it was fair game.
He did. He really sprinted down. No one picked him up, and he put the tattoo right on the shoulder pads.
1 minute and 12 seconds to go in a rip-roaring first half of Atlantic Coast Conference football.
Right there it is. It was unchecked. Great punt coverage.
Clemson leading 7-3. The Tigers have the ball. Jordan getting heat from Fuller. Fuller pulled him down. How many times he and Fortson have been roaring through there today?
They really have, and I think probably North Carolina should call timeout, control the clock. There's 57 seconds, 56 now, because they would force a punt out of their own territory, but it looks like they're not going to use it.
Big loss on that one.
Sure was.
7 yards, and it's back on the 15-yard line. Clock moving, 41 to go in the first half.
Expect run here.
Number 38, who's going in the lineup, and he's knocked down by Calvin Daniels, number 93.
Well, Daniels can really move, can he?
Well, all 3 of those big guys, Fortson, Fuller, and Daniels.
Now they've taken the timeout, Bill, on
24 seconds to go.
Right, there was 30 seconds that came off the clock. I think they would have been smarter to take that timeout earlier.
We'll have an outstanding halftime for you here today. We'll have the North Carolina band, the Marching Tar Heels. We'll also have, of course, our Fireman's Fund flashback. And again, we take a look at Rod Elkins, who injured or re-injured that ankle. However, he, although did not start, he was instrumental in getting 3 points on the scoreboard for North Carolina. Those are the only 3 the Tar Heels have been able to make. Clemson has the touchdown and the extra point to lead 7-3.
Well, it's understandable why they let that 30 seconds run off the clock. They only have one more timeout now that they've used one, and certainly if they hold here, they would use it and force a punt or go after the block.
Well, next week, North Carolina plays Virginia at Virginia, and say Clemson has to play North Carolina State. 3rd down. About 13. Jordan going to get some heat again. And number 84, Mike Wiltshire, was right behind him. Time called here by number 29, Darrell Nicholson.
Okay. Watch them load up on this rush.
4th down in the punt situation. On Mondays, ABC's Monday Night Football at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Buffalo against Dallas. Buffalo Chicago, number 2 in the AFC Eastern Division, taking on Dallas, tied for first in the NFL's Eastern Division. So we have a 4th down situation. And Dale Hatcher, who has the wind to his back and has a long kick this year of 64 yards, will be booting it to Greg Poole, but everybody may be poised and ready to go.
I think you're going to see a 10-man rush.
No reason they shouldn't.
Well, you can see the coach is signaling from the sideline. Turn it loose. 19 seconds. We're going to bring Levin now. No, there he goes back. There they go. Yeah, they're going to bring Levin. Look at here.
Yeah, here comes Poole. Oh, the high snap. It's certain to be blocked. It goes out of the end zone. Tough break for Carolina. If they'd gotten to the football, it would have been 6. As it turns out, it's only 2.
Well, that was great use of their timeouts and control of the clock. Watch here. I think it's Danny Barlow that comes in here. Yet they're clean. The snap was high. That's what caused it. There's the block. And had the ball not gone out of bounds, it would have been 6. This way, it's only 2. But you can see look how high that ball is. The timing was off. Boom, the block. 2 points, and you see how important that is, Bill. The score is now 7-5. A field goal would put North Carolina ahead, 8-7. Here it is again, all 10 going here. Big risk situation. I don't think they would have gotten it had the snap been proper. But that's a lot of pressure.
So there will be a free kick by Clemson with 14 seconds to go in the first half, and the rather unusual score of 7-5 is flashed on the scoreboard.
How'd you like to be the kicker facing that rush?
I want overs.
Well, there's a lot of good strategy going on both sides of the field, and certainly one has to take their hat off to North Carolina coaches for controlling the clock, using their timeouts properly, and willing to take the risk of putting 11-man rush on.
Well, Dick Crum is one of the smartest in the business.
He sure is. He's a bright young man, outstanding coach.
You don't get those masters degrees very easily in physics and mathematics. Here's the high kick. It's taken by Greg Poole up to the 35. Heat, and down he goes. Looked like, was it Kennard? No, number 42 in there for Clemson on a real hard strike was Ed Pickett. So there'll be time for about one play. 9 seconds to go on the 35-yard line. Without a huddle, Stan Cabbage has Carolina up there, trailing by only a couple. Fires it. Oh, that was almost big call. There's a dangerous play. I'll tell you, when you fire to the flat, it's Interstate 95 right down the highway.
You said it well, Bill. Oh, I don't believe that he threw that ball out there. That was dangerous. Almost intercepted. Had it been, you're right. It's straight highway to the goal line.
Second down, about 9 yards on that play. And we've got 4 seconds to go in the first half. And I'll tell you, I'll predict that you won't be able to hear anything in the state of Carolina when those seconds are ticked off, because everybody's going to scream and holler like you've never heard before. And that's it. That's the end of the half. And listen to these Carolina fans as they give a standing ovation to their team. And on the other side, it's Clemson standing for the Tigers. What a particular stadium that was built in 1929. And goes to Ethan Horton, the freshman, big, tall fella, one of the outstanding freshmen in the nation. And he breaks out of it and goes to the 35-yard line before he's out of bounds. One of the most sought-after players in the state, along with Joe McIntosh, who went to North Carolina State, and we had the privilege of seeing him last week. So Carolina will have the football on its own 34-yard line. Calvin Bryant will start in the backfield. Bryant, Burris, Stan Cabbage, and Mark Smith. Deep pitch to Bryant. Tries to cut inside and wiggles through a hole that wasn't very big. Jeff Davis, number 45, brought him down at the 37-yard line. That's a good look at the backfield graphically. Burris, Horton, Smith, and Richardson as the flanker and split in. And then, of course, up front, we've got the very strong offensive line with Blados at 290, Drexler at 247, Johnston at 238, Sproul at 250, and Marr at 262. Second down and 8. Bryant. Good shoulder tackle in there, thrown by Rod McSwain, number 28. Defensively, we've got Joe Glenn at the defensive end. Then Dan Benish, who is a 250-pounder. William Devane goes 252. Bryant 260. And Andy Heaton, who was injured in the first half but came back to play, and Danny Triplett, who's been outstanding as a strong side linebacker, and Jeff Davis, of course, what can you say about him, an All-America candidate. Big heat, and down goes the quarterback. Jeff Bryant, number 99, came roaring in on Stan Cabbage. Back to the 30. And the defensive backfield has Hollis Hall, a senior. Anthony Rose, the cornerback, is also a senior. It's a very, very experienced team. Childers is just a sophomore, however. Here's the kick going out of bounds at the 27-yard line. No chance for a return. So the ball will be taken over by the Clemson Tigers, who are leading in this game by the score of 7-3. Quarterback is Jordan, Jeff McCall, Austin Gilliard, and Tuttle. Fisher, Farr, Berryhill, Clark, Nanny, and Diggs. Handoff goes to Austin. Tries to make the cut. Number 29 was right there. Darrell Nicholson forced that play inside, and he does have quickness.
Well, the whole team had quickness on that play.
Joe Conwell, the defensive tackle of North Carolina. Fortson, the nose guard. You know, a lot of those names, like William Fuller, we mentioned a lot in the first half. Fuller at 245 has been outstanding. Wilcher is back in the lineup after having a little bit of a shake-up, and Schaffer had his ankle taped after he turned that in the first half, and he's playing. There's a good shot at Nicholson, the last one up. 2nd and 9. Clemson has the ball. Nowhere to go. Calvin Daniels, number 93, was right there to put the stop on Jeff McCall.
Daniels is having quite an afternoon. Had a good first half, and he's starting out well in the second half.
Greg Poole also had a shake-up in the first half, but he was back in action without too much of a delay. Darrell Lucas, Willie Harris, and Walt Black. Notice there's some inexperience in that defensive secondary with 3 sophomores. Homer Jordan rifles it. Got Tuttle at the 42. First down. Lucas covering on the play, number 17.
No underneath coverage that time, and it was easy for Jordan to pick out Tuttle as he made a turn in from a wide position. Watch here. The linebacker's fired, so there's no one in between Tuttle. There's someone behind him. As you see Lucas there chasing. Now, Tuttle turns inside. Jordan puts the ball right there because there was no one between him and the receiver.
First down on the 42-yard line. Clemson moving now against Carolina, leading in the game by the score of 7-5. First man through, McCall gets it, but nothing. Penalty marker was thrown right in the middle of the line. Usually that means offensive holding.
Yeah, I think so. The umpire threw it very quickly.
William Fuller made the stop, number 95.
If it's a 10-yarder, Bill, you want to take it. If it's a 5-yarder, you might think a little bit about the down.
Might say a little bit about holding this year, particularly in the area of pass blocking. There is a rule, of course, this year, which allows a blocker to retreat and hold his hands out in front of him, fending off the defenders coming in. And
holding on the white
has helped the passing game. The statistics bear that out.
That's exactly right, Bill. That's a very good point. And the passing statistics, the average nationally for every passer in the country is over 50%.
So it's 1st and 20. Here's Jordan. Flipping a little one to the sidelines. Gilliard takes it and goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Willie Harris covering on the play for Carolina. Well, that's a pretty good look at how things have been. As you can see, Clemson has really had great second periods, and the second period today produced their touchdown. They're leading 7-5. Second and about 14. Jordan going to run. Sprints to the sideline. They cave him in at the 44-yard line, but he is quick. Darrell Nicholson forced it, and Lucas made the stop.
Carolina was deployed in a obvious pass situation, willing to give a few running yards, but not the first down. Now they got 3rd down and 8. They've got him in a long yardage situation yet. Let's see what Jordan comes up with here.
Ball on the 44, 3rd down and 8. Jordan shuttles across, makes the pitch to Austin. Austin gets up over the 50. He may be close to the first down. Thought his knee touched just beyond the point to gain.
Looked like he got the first down. It was a good option play, a good call. Well blocked again. Jordan came right down the line. There it is, first down. Now that is a big first down. They've overcome a 10-yard penalty. Watch Jordan come down the line, the fullback lead. Options it off. Austin gets the ball. Good blocking inside there as Jeff McCall turned inside, made a super block that set that off.
That was the 6th 3rd down conversion out of 12 attempts, and I mentioned earlier they had 12 out of 12 against Wake Forest last week, but the Wake Forest defense was by no means comparable to the Carolina defense. Good play, rifling through there is Jeff McCall. Oh, he just grounded out the hard way as Willie Harris had to stop him at about the 36-yard line. That was 11 very quick yards by Jeff McCall, this junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's gotten the only touchdown in the game so far and has been running very well. Mack now comes in as his replacement. McCall goes out at fullback. 67 yards for McCall today, and now the Tigers have the ball. First down on the 36-yard line of Carolina, leading in the game 7-5. We have 9 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. That's Mack blasting up through there, but a big wall of light blue jerseys forcing back, led by Chris Ward, number 43.
I'll tell you, I can't say enough about the offensive blocking line of this Clemson team. They work beautifully in unison. They're well coordinated, and again, they're a senior outfit. They've got a lot of guys in there. The only sophomore in there is Jamie Farr. The rest of them are seniors.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 33-yard line of North Carolina. Clemson in possession, leading by 2. Swinging outside now is Kevin Mack. Oh, what a good defensive play was put on him, too. And there's a marker. Lee Schaffer and Darrell Lucas made the stop, but there was a marker that was thrown when he was out of bounds. It might be a late hit.
I know Darrell Lucas did a great job of coming up to support.
Personal foul against the Tar Heels. Well, in case you joined us a little bit late today, what you are watching is the nation's number 2 team in one poll and number 3 in the other. Clemson taking on North Carolina, ranked 8th in the nation in one and 9th in the other. First time ever in ACC history that we've had a game with 2 teams in the top 10 that have been tangling. Seldom has a game been played with more implications. Both these teams are undefeated in the Atlantic Coast Conference play.
Dead ball foul, personal foul on the blue.
Yeah, it was a late hit out of bounds.
That's a big foul. 15 yards. Let's see if we can pick it up here. It looks like it's well defense. Lucas comes up to the outside, makes a great play. Oh, number 11, that's Walt Black, came in and piled on.
So it makes it a first down on the 18-yard line, and here's Homer Jordan. Good block. Throws it wild, but he had a lot of pressure on him. But Calvin Daniels was in on him. But there is a marker down at the 21-yard line. There you see it.
A few penalties in the first half, but we're getting a few here.
Holding penalty against Clemson.
Open hand, that's only 5.
Right.
Now you got to make a decision whether or not you want the 5 yards or the down.
Now that's what, if you want to expound on that a little bit, if you make one step forward when you've got your arms out in front of you as a retreat block, they'll nail you.
That's right. You extend your arms and your elbows are extended out. You got to keep them in. Keep them inside your shoulders and not extend them out. Little tough decision here. You know, let's see whether or not they'll take the down. You're always tempted to take the down. They're going to take the 5.
Illegal use of hands on the white.
So Robert Wood puts the ball back on the 27-yard line, and Clemson has it there with a first down and 20. Eight and a half minutes to go in this third quarter. Clemson leading 7-5. Gilliard in motion. Jordan on the bootleg, being chased. Out of bounds he goes. Mike Wilcher was right on his tracks.
How about Andrew Jackson? Was that Andrew Jackson? No, that was Wilcher, 84, yeah. Thought it was 81 for a minute. Boy, what a job of running that was. Jordan is quick. Boy, that was a great play by Wilcher.
Well, before this game got underway, I asked Era what he thought the most important weapon was, and he described literally that play, that bootleg bit of misdirection, and yet the speed and the quickness of the legs of Homer Jordan makes it work. But that time it was not particularly effective because of great defensive work by Wilcher. Here's Jordan. Well, he just runs right straight into Lee Schaffer, number 49.
Okay, now a decision has to be made by Danny Ford whether or not he wants to bring the ball to the middle of the field on a play for the field goal attempt, or whether or not he'll go ahead for the touchdown by throwing football. Let's take a look at Schaffer here, the leading tackler on this North Carolina team. Wipe him off. He's blocked to the ground. Gets up and gets the play on Jordan. Great job.
Third down and 21 yards to go. Jordan flips it deep to Austin. Austin makes the cut at the 25, goes to the 23-yard line, but Lee Schaffer is there and knocks him down, but he did get the ball right in the center of the field.
He got it right where he wants it. And it is an important field goal because it will change what a field goal will mean to North Carolina.
Donald Ingabwike from Anambra in Nigeria.
I asked Danny Ford how to pronounce that name, and he says, we call him Donald. That's what I'm going to call him.
39-yard attempt. Up against the wind. It's long enough. It is good. It goes through the uprights and across the crossbar, and 3 points go up for Clemson. And so it is now a 10-5 game as the second-ranked Tigers are up 5 players. Is Doug Fountain, the son of Bob Fountain, the vice president of our ABC affiliates relations. So we say, Doug, congratulations on a fine football team and an outstanding musical organization. As Ingabwike will do the kicking here now, as Clemson's gone up by 5 points. Mark Smith is on the far side to receive. Ethan Horton on the near side. Ingabwike puts his foot into it, and it's a good one against the wind. Comes down to Ethan Horton. He fumbles it at the 5, picks it up to the 10, and he is buckled at the 12-yard line. So Carolina will not have excellent field position, taking over the football here with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. I started to summarize the importance of this game. What I neglected and couldn't do at that time was to say that I think we have more bowl representatives here today than in any other game in college football in the country. Look at the size of these guys, averaging 257 offensively.
And 6'4" in height.
Calvin Bryant is in the backfield. Quick handoff to Burris, the fullback. Gets about 2 or 3 yards. William Perry, number 66. He's only 295, and he's a freshman.
Yeah, Aiken, South Carolina. They are really tall. Also, one of the things that Coach Crum was concerned about was the height of the defense of Clemson, their linemen. Bryan is 6'5", Devane and Perry 6'3" and 6'4", and Dan Benish is 6'6".
Calvin Bryant came out there, and Tyrone Anthony, number 8, is in his place. 2nd and 8. Here's Stan Cabbage. His pass is blocked out of bounds. So that brings up a third down situation. We'll be back after this update on college football from New York.
Out in the Meadowlands, number 1 ranked Pittsburgh has gone in front of Rutgers 7-3 on a touchdown pass in the second quarter from Marino to Wayne DiBartola. Earlier in pregame, we told you about Chuck Bushbeck, the East Carolina kicker who fights a daily battle against Hodgkin's disease. A field goal for Bushbeck today as East Carolina's on top. Back to Bill.
Third down and 8. Stan Cabbage Oh, he got away from a man behind him and still on his feet. He slipped that one tackle, and he got it up to the 27-yard line. A 9-yard gain and a good play by Stan Cabbage, and I think he really needed it for his confidence.
He really did. He needed it for his confidence, and North Carolina needed it to get out of this poor field position. He's a sprint out. Don't know whether it was a pre-called run or not. He's looking. No one's containing him. He cuts back to the inside right here. And this is a big first down. Otherwise, North Carolina would have had to punt into a stiff freeze from deep in their own territory.
And that was William Perry, who had a shoelace on him but couldn't hold it. On the deep reverse, here comes Tyrone Anthony. Oh, what a play. Oh, it's Victor Harrison, excuse me. Number 9. What a play there by number 29.
Hollis Hall.
Hollis Hall. He was waiting right there for Victor Harrison on that split end around.
It really was. A good job by the left cornerback staying at home. As you see here, Anthony trying to get the reverse, tries to put a move right there on number 29, Hollis Hall. No way.
Calvin Bryant is back in the lineup for Anthony. So it'll be Calvin Bryant in the backfield with Burris. Only one man deep. Now Bryant will go deep behind the fullback. Second down and 10. Bryant spins away and gets it up to the 31.
Oh, that's a stout defense, Bill. That Clemson defense.
Well, if you just joined us and you're hearing the name Calvin Bryant, you say, hey, wait a second, that can't be right. He's out for the season. He had a cartilage surgery 4 weeks ago. Well, you're wrong. He's back in there, and, well, there was a good illustration right there. He was trapped and yet spun away. That leg is strong.
Well, he's all right. He's healthy. Just endurance will be a factor.
Third down and 7. Ball on the 31. Carolina is trailing 10-5. Here's Stan Cabbage. Flips it over the middle. He's got Richardson. First down. But number 71, Dan Benish, is out flat at the 23-yard line. One of the best defensive men in the Atlantic Coast Conference for Clemson.
He's played a whale of a game up to this point. Certainly hope it isn't serious. There's the throw right there. A comeback by Richardson. An excellent execution on the part of Stan Cabbage. Here's another look at it. Richardson comes down the field again. Receivers, watch Richardson come back for the football. And Stan Cabbage puts it right there.
So that is 2 out of 6 for him. And while they have the injury, we'll be back in a moment. Tackle. He's a 225-pound sophomore. So with first down, Carolina has the ball at its own 44. Stan Cabbage, who's 2 out of 6 for 22 yards, is being chased to the 45, turns on the steam, and goes out of bounds at just about midfield. Jeff Bryant hot on his trail, number 99.
Just a nice piece of individual work by Stan Cabbage. Couldn't find anybody open. He was trapped over to the left side, turned, came back to this side, picked up 5 yards on the play.
Smith comes out, Kelvin Bryant goes in, and Stan Cabbage is in to call the play on a 2nd and 5 at midfield. And 4 seconds to go, third quarter. On the draw, Calvin Bryant breaks out of one tackle, broke to the outside. If he kept going straight, I think he might have made it.
Well, he
didn't see the man coming in from his blind side, I guess.
That's exactly right. It wasn't that well a blocked hole, but he certainly bled a lot of yardage out of it. They've got 3rd and short.
Carolina's made 4 out of 10 third down conversions in this game and is trailing 10-5. 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. Carolina on the Clemson 47. Hand off to Bryant. Stacked up. Falls forward to about the 45-yard line. It'll be extremely close for a first down. Close enough, and the referee in the white hat says we'll measure.
Well, it is going to be close. Now what do you do if it's not a first down? I think they're a little short, Bill.
It may have slipped by kind of innocently, but the thing I think was important, the fact that Clemson decided to take the win in the 4th quarter rather than the 3rd quarter. Short.
Yeah.
About half the length of the football. So with 3:23 to go here in the 3rd, Carolina has the wind to its back, and will they try it?
They're going for it.
rather evenness of this game. Stan Cabbage has got Burris back there with Kelvin Bryant. Bryant into the line. Boy, he was hit hard at the line of scrimmage.
He's got it, Bill.
Well, Clemson doesn't think so.
Oh, yeah, he's got it. I can see where the man's marking the ball.
Bill Smith, number 84, threw the shoulder right into Bryant at the point of attack. Certain quietness has come over the Kenan Stadium crowd here.
Here it is. They're giving it to Bryant on this short yardage situation. They ganged up in there. Good defense, but you can see it almost gets to the white line.
First down.
Not by much.
You got better eyes than I have, Coach.
No, I'm looking at the far sideline where the marker was. Tell from the last measurement.
That Clemson defensive line is about 13 pounds lighter than the North Carolina offensive line. Anthony goes deep. First man through is Burris, and Burris grinds it forward to the 34-yard line. There's a rather unheralded football player. This Alan Burris is a quick starter as a fullback.
They seem to forget about him. They're looking for Bryant and Anthony, and Pop, they'll give that ball to Burris, and he just storms through there. He got good blocking on the hole. Just an inside straight handoff over the left side. Look at Burris. He trips. He's really mad at himself because he knew he could have gained a few more yards.
Shelton and Sickles, two tight ends in. There he goes again. Burris to the 25-yard line, but there's a marker down at the line of scrimmage.
The wide receiver on this side of the field for North Carolina was in motion before the snap, I think.
Well, Burris just clicked off about 7 or 8 yards on that one. Boy, he starts fast. Don't forget, immediately following this one, it'll be the potential college scoreboard.
Disregard the flag. Disregard the flag. We have nothing.
An inadvertent throw.
Well, listen, that takes a little courage to eat the flag. But that's right, when the guy just inadvertently threw it.
I think Stan Cabbage is going to ask for a time here.
Here comes the substitute, Larry Griffin, in with the play.
A little sign language there says,
Yeah.
"Come on, coach, help me out."
Right.
What do we call?
Here. We don't want that 5-yard delay of penalty.
All right, it's 2nd down and 1 as Burris has picked up 11 and then 9 on 2 successive carries. Bench goes to Anthony, going to throw, flips it down deep, got his man on the 5-yard line. Larry Griffin caught that ball between 2 defenders. Was it Griffin?
Yeah, it was Griffin, yes. He went in motion. Watch Griffin go in motion. They'll deal the ball off to Anthony here like a pitch sweep. Quick support. Anthony stops. Spots Griffin. Watch Griffin make a great catch right here. Boom, as he hit, you thought the ball was going to come flying out, but it didn't. He hung on to the ball.
If ever the Clemson defense is contested this year, it's going to be right now with 1st and goal to go on the 4-yard line. Carolina trailing 10-5. We're in the 3rd quarter with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go in it. Bryant, deep pitch, makes the cut, caught. Great defensive work by Clemson. Terry Kennard coming up to make the stop. And Jeff Davis, number 45, made the initial penetration.
Well, you said it right, Bill. That was terrific defense on the part of Clemson. They stopped him for about a 3-yard loss. It's a sweep that he has been run very successfully. He does not get inside. There are so many players there. He does avoid a couple of tacklers right there. But look at Kennard come back after he was blocked. Number 43 and 45, Jeff Davis. Terrific defense.
Tyrone Anthony is now the deep man, number 8 behind Burris. It's 2nd down. They've been pushed back to the 9-yard line, and because they're going to the Clemson end of the field, they cannot hear. All the Clemson orange is over on the far side. That's their side. And so Carolina says, hold it. Let's stop it right there. Let's talk it over. And so we have a timeout on the field. Carolina's out on the field at the 9-yard line. His team is poised defensively. It's a second down for Carolina. Stan Cabbage throws it short. Tyrone Anthony couldn't get to the ball. Terry Kennard right there on him, along with Jeff Davis, brings up third down.
The guy that really threw the timing of that play off was number 99, Jeff Bryant, the right tackle in there. Really got a lot of penetration, got his hands up, and made the throw very difficult going to the left.
Ball comes back to the 9-yard line. They had a first and goal.
Boy, that's really something, that graphic that just came up. Only 2 touchdowns rushing this year. That's quite an accomplishment. And you can see them stiffening up here.
Well, a year ago, it was North Carolina that made the goal line stand. Now, the ball is rifled into the end zone, incomplete. Richardson was there. Hollis Hall, number 29, was covering on the play. Richardson turned and said, I think that's interference. The official said, no, I don't think so.
Well, they're going to take the 3. Let's see whether or not we can pick it out. Richardson goes into the end zone. Stan Cabbage had plenty of time. Now he turns and starts to work away from Hollis. No, Richardson went back into Hollis Hall. That was not interference. Good call by the official.
Here is Brooks Barwick, who made a field goal for North Carolina early in the second quarter. He puts this one up, and it's good. A 26-yard field goal by Brooks Barwick, and that brings the score up to 10-8. Clemson will have the wind to their back. Indiana leading Wisconsin. Boy, that's a key game for the Badgers.
Whoops.
Yep, that could be number 29.
That would set a record, unfortunately, for Northwestern.
McSwain and McCall in the backfield. We've got Homer Jordan, the quarterback. Big number 60 coming up there on the line is James Farr, left guard. Handoff goes to the deep man. McCall has been really outstanding today, I think, Era. You know, he doesn't have much running room in there, but he manages to keep those legs driving all the time. 74 yards and 14 carries.
Well, he's 6'3", 225, and he's average on almost 5 yards a crack. He's a good football player. He's had 4 touchdowns. Long gainer, though, has only been 24 yards.
We're into the final 2 seconds of this quarter, and that's it. So that's the end of 3 quarters of play with 15 minutes to go. NCAA college football. Clemson versus North Carolina will continue after this. Will officially begin here on the campus at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. The annual blue-white game. The inter-squad game for the Tar Heels is going to be played. I guess there's about as much interest there as there is in football. They even televised the thing. Well, here's Clemson now with a second down to begin this 4th quarter. Second and about 3. McCall grinds up to the 30-yard line, and Steve Fortson, number 96, the nose guard, is there. Pittsburgh, number 1 in the nation, leading Rutgers at halftime at the Meadowlands, 14-3. And Mr. Parsegian, would you care to comment on these statistics?
Well, as you can see, Clemson has a slight edge over North Carolina, but it's a very close game. The biggest difference is the possession, time possession. You can see that Clemson has had it almost 8 minutes more than North Carolina.
First down for Clemson at the 31-yard line. The Tigers with the wind to their backs here in this 4th quarter. Deep pitch goes to Chuck McSwain. He's rolled to the ground at about the 35-36-yard line by Darrell Nicholson, number 29. And Sammy Johnson, number 6. Incidentally, we'll be picking the outstanding players of today's game. And Chevrolet will be sending $1,000 to the general scholarship funds of each of these universities in the names of those players who are chosen to be the outstanding player for each squad. It's always tough to make those votes. McSwain, 8 carries, 31 yards. That's the 15th first down they just trucked up the punch. Second down and 6. McCall slammed to the ground at the 31-yard line. Sammy Johnson making the stop, along with Willie Harris, number 30.
That's the first down, but I think he's hurt.
Boy, McCall has really been outstanding today, and so is his replacement, Kevin Mack. I don't know, Era, if I've seen a team in the country that deploys 4 guys in a more even way. McCall and Mack seem to split the fullback role, and Austin and McSwain the tailback.
Well, I'm sure Danny Ford has adopted some of the techniques that Bear Bryant did, has used so effectively at Alabama. A lot of substitutions, a lot of use of personnel.
Coming up after this game in the Prudential College scoreboard, it'll be Florida against Georgia in Jacksonville. A national telecast that I think certainly has some great implications to it. 4th-ranked Georgia with the great Herschel Walker. And the fact that the Gators have been waiting an entire year to get back. They had the game won a year ago. Had the Georgia pinned back to the 7-yard line. They were leading it by, what, 21-19 or 21-20, whatever it was. It wound up 26-21 on that 93-yard pass.
That was spectacular play, really was. I recall that so well. Let's see if we can see what happened here to McCall. He's got the ball. It's good blocking by the lead back. Let's see.
Right in the back.
Took a pretty good shot there.
So while they take this timeout for the injury, we also will take a timeout and remind you we have 13:43 to go in this one, and Clemson's had a hard shot right in the back as he was going down and has been helped to the sidelines. Although he did walk off, it's obvious that he is in pain in his back. Kevin Mack has replaced him in the backfield. The split backs now, Austin and Mack. Pass caught by Gilliard at the 48-yard line. Sammy Johnson right on his back.
Good throw under pressure on the part of Jordan. We got a lot of heat as you'll watch here. Watch the rushers come in. Jordan just sprinting out to his left. See a lot of blue shirts right there jumping up to distract him, but he still hit Gilliard.
Gain of 8 on the play. So Clemson with the lead, moving the ball. 13:38 to go with a 2nd and 2. Calvin Daniels just leaped across that line and smacked Kevin Mack before he could even take a step.
Boy, what a play on the part of Daniels. He's had quite an afternoon. Senior from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Watch him come into the screen from the left edge. Try to give the ball here to Mack, and he goes inside of the blocker and makes a super play for negative yardage.
Oh, that was a big play. It was 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 8. Clemson 6 out of 13 on these 3rd down conversions, and there he is again. That was William Fuller, number 95, who plays next to Calvin Daniels. And look at the pom-poms being shaken here with a little gusto.
Great series, great defensive series. Here you see Fuller come right on through and gets to Jordan before he can challenge the corner. Big defensive series for North Carolina.
At your back. Ooh, he barely got that one away. High kick comes down to Greg Poole. Bear catches it at the 23-yard line. South Carolina will have the football. 12 minutes, 31 seconds to go. And there you see it. It's been a hard-fought game, and Carolina trails. Here at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, the final home game of the season for the Tar Heels. It's homecoming today, and they're trailing their bitter rival from Clemson, South Carolina by 2. 1st down and 10 on the 22-yard line. Pitch goes to Anthony. Following blocks, gets up to about the 27-yard line. It looks like old single-wing power football. Those guys pulling out ahead of the ball.
That's right. Looked like he was going to get more yardage, but Clemson really moves well, wards off blocks well, and they're a really terrific defensive football team.
There you see the ice being put on the back of McCall. He took a pretty hard shot right in the back in carrying the football. Calvin Bryant, now the deep man in the eye. Handoff goes to Burris. Not very much on that one. Looked like it might have been bobbled. Burris gets up a little slowly. I saw the marker, but I didn't see who threw it.
Let's see if it comes on here. A 15-yarder.
Shot block.
Oh,
Shot
On the
clock.
blue.
Well, he's made a mistake there. He
Second
marked
down.
off. Oh, I guess that's a 15-yard line. Okay. Shot block.
You know, you don't often see that when you have those plays into the center of the line. A lot of times you see them on those wide sprints. Be that as it may, it is now second down and 20. North Carolina on the 15-yard line, trailing in this one by 2. Stankiewicz gives the ball off to Kelvin Bryant. He runs right in to the arms of a Clemson player who was considerably larger than he was.
Well,
Get a line on him.
you know,
Put a bear hug on him right at about the 17 or 18-yard line. Marked the forward progress at the 19. It was Danny Triplett, strong side linebacker. Well, that tells the story of how strong the Clemson defense has been today under tight situations. Stankiewicz, good faking. Flips a little pass over to Burris, and he's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Not nearly enough to gain.
and must punt into the wind.
Fourth down and about 7. Now, believe me, the wind is really whipping. It's been strong ever since early this morning, and the flag is absolutely stretched out straight. Jeff Hayes has a strong foot. He plants a good one across midfield. High kick coming down. Fair catch. Called for. Fumbled. Covered by Carolina. Davis fumbled the ball. Couldn't quite get back to it. Tar Heels recover. Looked like it might have been Sammy Johnson or Aaron Jackson, number 81. He was there.
I think he was intimidated briefly there. Can't quite see who got the ball.
57, Dwight Parrish. Room to catch the ball, but once he touches it, you know.
Well, what happened is Billy Davis, as he came up, thought he was going to get bumped, and the ball was a little bit over his right shoulder, and he had to move back to field it. And of course, he fumbled the ball, and maybe the big break that North Carolina's been looking for.
Here's an interesting picture. You saw Rod Elkins talking to Stankiewicz. Elkins, who was injured against South Carolina, came back and played in this game until he re-injured the ankle. Stankiewicz has gone in, and Elkins now has just given him a little bit of advice. So first down, the ball is on the 37-yard line. Bryant gets his nose right on the 34 and then is shoved back. We have 10 minutes and 35 seconds to go. The ball will be on the 34-yard line out Clemson. Breaks can really make a difference in a game. I think that was only the second turnover in this entire game. Bryant, boy, again, he runs into a stone wall. Once he finds that opening, it closes so quickly. The reaction of the defense is fantastic. Jeff Davis and Ray Brown.
It's like Johnston is hurt, I believe. Center.
Brian Johnston. That's who it is. Number 51 is on his knees there. Young freshman had to start today, and the reason for that was the fact that the regular center, Steve McGrew, was injured.
Yeah, and McGrew is a good one. Johnson's done a good job after getting off the little shaky start. Now, that means that Dave Drexler might have to move over to that center spot.
Dave Drexler into the center spot, and then Clay Hassard has gone in to play left guard for Drexler. Here comes Carolina Blues up to the line with third down and 7, the 34. Stankiewicz is back. Gets the rush. Down he goes. And it is William Perry, number 66, all 295 pounds of him, who pounces on Stankiewicz. And the reason it's important, it throws them way out of chance for a field goal.
All right, they'll have to punt it. Here, look at him. 66 is just a freshman. 6'3", 290, and can he move?
That's his third sack. 28-yard total. And here is Jeff Hayes now, who will do the kicking on fourth down. Brilliant defensive work from Ellis Parker before he could kick it. Well, I'll tell you, that's the mark of a great football team. You take a tough break like that fumbled punt, and you give the ball to the other team on the 37-yard line. They've got momentum, and you just stack them up in there and force a fourth down punt. Now, you know, if they're not entitled to be number 2 or 3 or whatever in the country, I'll be surprised.
That's right. Well, a statistic.
The ball. Dead ball foul, illegal procedure on the blue.
That moves them back another 5. We have 9 minutes and 23 seconds to go, so there's plenty of time. But the thing you don't want to do is to give a ball possession team like Clemson the ball again and give them that control. They had an 8-minute advantage at the end of 3 quarters. There's a high kick that goes over the top of the stadium, but it doesn't go very far downfield. Wind catches it, and it is out of bounds at the 33-yard line. That can't be more than about a 16-yard kick. Exactly what it is. And so Clemson will take over the football, leading in this one by 2 points. We have 9:06 to play.
Well, that was an excellent defensive series for Clemson. And, of course, a very weak punt has taken a lot of pressure off Clemson.
Scores coming up below as you see them. And I'll remind you once again that you will be seeing Florida and Georgia, 3:45 Eastern Time. Here our national telecast. 1st and 10. Former Georgia straight drop back. That's unusual for him, but he hits Tuttle. Tuttle spins down to the 42-yard line before Darrell Lucas tripped him up, and he saved the touchdown by so doing.
Great audible on the part of Jordan. He gets one-on-one on Tuttle. He steps back. Tuttle turns on the look-in. Jordan hits him, and if this tackle is missed, look out. Tuttle's going to go all the way. That's Lucas finally got him down. Darrell Lucas.
First down on the 42-yard line, and Clemson now starting to move the football. They're leading in this one in a very close and hard-fought contest by the score of 10-8. Gilliard goes in motion. Jordan shuttles inside, saw the opening. Good peripheral vision here, and it gave him about 7 yards.
Good judgment by Jordan again. He had no chance of dealing the ball off on the option, the speed option down the line. Took the inside and picked up good yardage.
Danny Ford, who was really the youngest coach at the age of 31 in the nation when he was named as the head coach of Clemson. Well, there's nothing there as Fortson makes the stop on Kevin Mack.
Well, he just absolutely stopped him right in his tracks. He never had a chance. Fortson came across, hit him right down around the knees, and just stopped him cold. Brought up a 3rd down situation now.
Absolutely. 3rd down and about 3. 7:39 is the clock in the right-hand corner of your screen. 6 out of 14 conversions for the Tigers today. They have the ball on the 35-yard line, but keep in mind they also have a very strong wind to their back, which is not apparent when you're just watching it at home, but it is apparent here when you see the flags. Austin is nailed. Boy, were they coming hard on that one.
Woo! From the outside. Corner blitz. Willie Harris, a strong safety.
Harris was hurt.
Number 30 there.
He just turned his ankle a little bit. Harris and Fortson.
He's going to punt it. He's got a field goal.
Dale Hatcher reporting in, number 5. Greg Poole will go deep. Hatcher's got about a 34-yard average today. Tell you one thing he can do here. With the wind to his back, you know, he can just kind of make that little placement like he wants to.
And the reason he's doing that, Bill, is because he does not want to give North Carolina the ball at the 35. Oh, he hit it too hard. It's going to go over.
Maybe into South Carolina.
They should bunt it at that time. That's what's called a bunt punt. Just drop it inside that 10-yard line.
So with 6:36 to go in the ball game, it's still 10-8. Carolina Clemson holding that lead. Carolina has not beaten the Tigers here at Kenan Stadium since 1971, and they're still trailing. Stan Cabbage throws a little swing pass to Burris. Burris gets it up to the 31-yard line. First down. Danny Triplett made the stop, and Burris with that good second effort.
Got a little misdirection play. Good fake on the part of Stan Cabbage, and Burris slipped out into the left flat. Here's the first down. You can see Clemson sizably ahead.
We actually figured we'd have this kind of a game today when you match the team that's ranked second against the team that's ranked eighth. There's not that much difference in college football anymore. And there's William Perry saying, "Good evening, sir. I'd like to welcome you to Tigerland." Anthony really took a hit from him.
I'll tell you, this Clemson defense on the inside particularly is very, very stout. Woo.
Well, 295, you know, against a back that weighs 203. You got 500-pound collision there. Second down and about 12. Stan Cabbage back to pass. They hold him out. The ball was caught.
Got it.
Richardson gets it. I had to wait to see if he was out of bounds because he's right in front of the Carolina bench and I couldn't see the sideline.
Right, it looked like he was out of bounds, but they called it good. He comes down the sideline. Another bootleg pass is the only thing that they've really been successful with is that bootleg. Here he turns out right here. Stan Cabbage finally sees him, throws the ball almost too late. We cannot see the sideline, but obviously the official calls it good.
You know, his brother Mark is a defensive end for Clemson.
Well,
that makes a real strife in the family, doesn't it? First and 10. And here's Anthony fighting his way to the 45-yard line. Richardson has 3 out of 438 yards today in receptions. And a good look at Tyrone Anthony, a sophomore.
Really, Bill, I think that with 5 minutes left to go in this game, I think this is a very critical drive for North Carolina. Because if they give it back to Clemson, Clemson's got such a strong line, they probably can bleed some time off that clock.
Second down and 8, the ball to the 45-yard line. The score is 10-8. Clemson is leading Carolina. Stan Cabbage flips it. He's got his man. It's Mark Smith. Mark Smith still on his feet at the 40-yard line, and he's down for another first down. Terry Kennard had to come up and belt him there at the 40 to keep him from going all the way.
And you got to give right there, that man right there, Scott Stan Cabbage. He was cool on the play, delivered the ball well to Smith, and then Smith ran it very well. They tried to pressure Stan Cabbage. He had a blitz on, but he delivered the ball to his flanker back, right on target, and he ran it well.
First down, just inside the 40. Stan Cabbage is now 6 out of 12. He had a very shaky start. Had to be replaced by Rod Elkins, but he's come back strong here. Now, that was either a broken play or a slight bobble on the handoff. It was hard to tell.
Bill, what happened? Clay Hazard, the left guard, tried to pull and ran right into Scott Stan Cabbage before he could get away from the center. Now, again, you've got that coordination factor. Drexler, who is a guard, is playing center, the third guy in there because of injuries. Hazard is in the left guard for Drexler, and they had a problem there on the guard pulling.
Boy, unemotional Dick Crum looking on. I guess my heart would be in my throat if I were the coach. 3:44 to go. His team's trailing by 2. Stan Cabbage flips it again. Oh, it's just missed by Mark Smith. He hit him right on the numbers with it.
Well, it still wouldn't have been a big gainer. I think at best maybe 3 or 4 yards, but still it's important. Right. Mark Smith comes in motion all the way across the line, then breaks out into the left flat. But you can see he should have had this ball, but it would have only been about a 3-yard gain. You can see 2 fine Clemson secondary men right there.
Well, here's another big test for the Tigers, who've been tested and have withstood many of the tests today. It's third down and 12. The ball is on the 42-yard line. We have 3 minutes and 37 seconds to go, and Clemson's leading 10-8. Cabbage looks, throws too high, intended for Richardson, who looked like he may have slipped in trying to get back to it. It brings up 4th down.
It did. It looked like his feet came out from under him. He was open. And Stan Cabbage had enough time. Watch this on the replay. Here's Richardson. I think the ball was thrown to his inside, and he tried to get back for it, but he couldn't. He gets into the seam beyond the linebackers in front of the deep secondary. There's the ball to his left. Look at his feet come out from under him. He might have gotten the ball had he not slipped.
4th down. They're way outside field goal range.
And going for it.
4th and 12. There you can see the clock. 3.5 and counting.
Clemson's coming.
Smith here toward motion. Here comes the backside man. Look out. The ball is flipped. It is incomplete. They had the backside blitz on. And And so Clemson will take over the football. And look at the far side, all of the bright orange fans standing.
Big play. Watch the pressure come from the backside. It looked from up here like he was going to get hit right in the back and the ball come out. He does get it away. Almost intercepted. Good judgment here. He didn't really want to catch the ball because the ball comes back out to the 41.
That was Andy Heaton, number 12, who put the heat on. And now Clemson takes over the football. 3 minutes and 24 seconds to go. They have the ball at their own 41-yard line, and they have the lead by the score of 10-8. Who took a pretty hard shot in the back beginning of this fourth quarter.
It's a big play for Clemson because now North Carolina, with only 2 timeouts, is in a tough situation with 2nd down and 1 or 2 if they're going to try to control the clock. Clock keeps running.
2:50 to go. Gordon lots of time, straight little drop back. Throws it to Tuttle. Nope, can't get to it. Again, there was the audible, just like he had it before.
Got the one-on-one on Tuttle and tried to throw the ball down there to him. He overthrew him. Surprising to me, really, because with 2:39 left to go, 2nd down and 2 or 3 yards to go, 2 yards, I guess it is, they'll have 3rd down. If they don't make it, they're going to be compelled to punt the football.
Third down for Clemson. A long yard.
Guarantee you North Carolina's coming after him. Every gap.
You're right.
Didn't make it.
I don't think he made it. Kevin Mack wedged it in there, but it's going to be short of the 1st down.
I don't think they made it. They send their punter in.
This is Bill Fleming along with Ara Parsegian, and we welcome our other viewers who've been watching other regional games here on ABC. We've had a tremendous football game here today in the Atlantic Coast Conference. 2nd-ranked Clemson against 8th-ranked North Carolina. It's been a tremendously hard-fought defensive game, and right now as you join us, we see a player down on the field. A crucial measurement coming up here because here's the situation. Clemson leads 10-8. On a 3rd down situation, they wedge the ball into the line. If it becomes a 4th down, it makes a big decision for the Tigers. Do they go for it, hanging on to a 2-point lead, or do they kick the ball away and give the ball to Carolina with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go?
You got to kick it away, Bill.
And it's short.
Because a field goal can beat them. They cannot allow to give North Carolina the ball in their territory. Or right at the 50-yard line. It's too short a period to go. Way to go.
Well, Dale Hatcher, coming into this game with a 44-yard average, will have a strong wind to his back. And Greg Poole is a single safety man for Carolina. In this game, he's averaged a little bit over 35 yards. There's Poole. Good punt return man. 2:34 to go. Clemson leading by the score of 10-8. High spiral kick. No attempt to catch it. It goes out of bounds. It goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
What a punt. Woo!
47 yards, and it could not have been more on a pinpoint to the goal line. It went out of bounds off the toe of Dale Hatcher. On the 2, Carolina will have to huddle in its end zone. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Although Carolina won the game a year ago at Clemson with a great goal line stand, the Tar Heels have not defeated the Tigers here in Kenan Stadium since 1971. Dick Crum looks glumly on. He knows his team's in a tough spot. They're 98 yards from the goal line. Here's Stankevich. Sprinting out. Incomplete. Anthony Rose was covering. Marks for Smith on the play.
Bill, I think Stankevich did an excellent job that time. Mark Smith dropped the football. He should have had it. He delivered it right to him.
And for the benefit of those viewers who are joining us a little bit late, two of the outstanding players of Carolina this year. Rod Elkins, the quarterback, and Calvin Bryant, the tailback, rejoined the club today. However, Elkins did go out with a re-injury of the ankle. Bryant has looked healthy. Here's Stan Cabbage. This is Elkins' replacement, and he's in the end zone. He throws it. He's got Richardson, and he dropped the ball again.
Also, the risk factor of 2 points in the end zone would not make it possible for a field goal to bring it back.
And there is Dick Brown, the head coach, talking to Rod Elkins.
You see, Richardson just comes down to the flat here at about 11, 12-yard line. The ball is a little bit low, but he just can't hang on to it.
Third down. The ball is on the 2 where it was booted out of bounds. And Carolina is trailing by 2. Here comes Stan Cabbage going to run it out now. Gets to the 10, to the 12. He makes the first down. Should I say very close to it? No, I'm sure he made it. It's at the
He made it, Bill.
13-yard line. Made it by a yard.
No huddle.
1:50 to go. Stan Cabbage drills one, but it is incomplete. Mark Smith, number 45. So we have 1:44 to go now. And North Carolina, ranked 8th in one poll, 9th in another, against second ranked or third ranked, depending on which poll you like to follow. Clemson, you follow the Associated Press poll, puts it number 2. Clemson, one of 4 teams in Division 1A that's undefeated and untied. Clemson, Pittsburgh, Yale, Hawaii. Second down and 10. Stan Cabbage with 1:40 to go. Fires it to the sideline. Tyrone Anthony misses the ball at the 45-yard line.
Oh, he had that right in his hands. That could have been a big, big play.
Third down coming up.
Stan Cabbage put it right there. He rolls to the right. He has 2 receivers. He actually had 2 receivers on the backside here open. Anthony's going up the sideline. Watch the ball go right through his hands. Well, it was a tough catch. It was off up there pretty high, but normally I think Anthony's a good receiver. Normally he can grab him up pretty well.
And the pressure continues to mount now on the Tar Heels as they have a third down and 10. Going just for the first down at the 24-yard line. The catch was made, but it's about a yard short of the first down. 9-yard gain.
Clock running.
Time called by Coach Dick Brummer. He wants to stop that clock. And here comes Stan Cabbage over to talk to his head coach with a 4th down and 1 with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. But keep in mind, there's only a 2-point difference between these 2 teams.
Also keep in mind that North Carolina has but 1 timeout left with 1:20 left to go in this ball game.
Well, in case you joined us a little bit late today, let me remind you that the first scoring took place on the part of North Carolina in the second quarter. Warwick made a 22-yard field goal. Then 8 minutes later, Clemson made a fine drive, 81 yards, and Jeff McCall went over on a 7-yard run to make the score 7-3 Clemson. Then also, with 14 seconds to go in the first half, Barlow blocked a Clemson punt. It went out of the end zone before Carolina could get a hold of it. That meant it was a safety, and the score was rather unusual, 7-5. In the third quarter, with 6:53 to go, Donald Ingabwike, the Nigerian place kicker, booted one 39 yards, and Clemson was up 10-5. And then Warwick booted one to make it 10-8 for North Carolina. Here we are with a 4th down. Carolina gets the first down in a straight drive tackle play.
No huddle play here.
1:16 to go. First down on the 26-yard line. Here's Stan Cabbage. Throws it short to Anthony. Goes to the 35. Goes out of bounds. Stops the clock. It would have been stopped with the first down at the 40-yard line. And he wisely chose to get it out, and Jeff Davis was right on his tail.
Good decision right there, but still, I think that the problem that North Carolina has is they have to take the the ball deep into Clemson territory because of the wind factor. Here's the replay. A good job of hitting the target, and then Anthony does a nice job of running by shaking one tackler, uses good judgment, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Swing pass, and Burris is nailed. Well, he knew that man was right there running. Now the question, was that a forward pass or was it backward? If it was a backward pass, of course, that's a free ball.
That's right. I think it was. They've called it that way. This game...
Well, it'll be interesting to see the replay, but I'll tell you, it was a brilliant, brilliant defensive play by the Clemson Tigers.
Good reaction on their part. They smell the possibility that it might be a backward pass. And you can see the dejection of Coach Crum of North Carolina, the elation, obviously, of Danny Ford.
Jeff Bryant, number 99, was the guy that got the ball, a senior from Atlanta. The heat was really put on there by Bill Smith, the defensive left end, who was right on Burris. That ball was not a forward pass. It was considered a lateral. It's a free ball that was covered by Clemson, and it looks like the Tigers have done it with 57 seconds to go. They're leading 10-8. All on it. Eat up the clock.
One timeout left for North Carolina. There's not much they can do about it now.
Well, we've got another great one in store for you. Georgia and Florida coming up. Georgia led, of course, by Heisman Trophy candidate Herschel Walker against the Florida team that can be very dangerous. That game coming up following the Prudential College scoreboard. Well, we've been privileged to watch one of the great classics in Atlantic Coast Conference football today between Clemson and the University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
Well, as expected, it became a defensive struggle. You see there Coach Crum talking, it appears to be the 14 Stankiewicz.
So it was. Youthful-looking young man who I think really played outstandingly. He had a little shaky start there to begin this game, but you can't blame it all on him because he was working with the new center. But he sure has been good. A couple of those balls that were thrown fairly well were dropped here in these closing past 2 minutes. Well, when this timeout is eaten up, we'll have 46 seconds to go, and you can bet that Clemson's just going to fall on that football again. They've got it just about where they want it right now. Danny Ford, you'd be extremely proud of this team. Tuttle is out wide to the right. Doubt if you'll see him in much action, though, as Homer Jordan, the quarterback, falls down on the ball. I thought he's called an outstanding game today.
Job. This turned out just the way we figured. A defensive struggle, two great football teams, both of them coming into the game with high rankings, both statistically as well as in the polls. And this has been a whale of a ball game. Now the clock is running. It's going to be victory for Clemson Tigers.
They just stopped the clock now with 8 seconds, but it certainly is going to be one.
They took a delay of the game. They let it run right down to the 5 seconds. Now they've got to put the ball in play one more time.
Well, we've decided that Jeff McCall was the outstanding player on the Clemson side of the field today, and Calvin Daniels, the outside linebacker for the North Carolina Tar Heels. And to their respective institutions, courtesy Chevrolet, goes $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund. Gentlemen, congratulations. A game well played. And that'll just about do it, as Clemson will take a very hard-earned but highly prized victory back to Clemson, South Carolina. So Danny Ford will seek out Dick Crum as Clemson held on to stave off a Carolina rally, and we'll be back.